In this video, we're going to talk about Japan. Japan, with a population of roughly 126 million, is an island nation in the Pacific Ocean with high-rise-filled cities, imperial palaces, mountainous national parks, and thousands of shrines and temples. Tokyo, the crowded capital, is known for its neon skyscrapers and pop culture. In contrast, Kyoto offers Buddhist temples, Shinto shrines, gardens, and cherry blossoms. Sushi, the national dish, is served everywhere, from casual pubs to gourmet restaurants. A pretty sad fact about Japan, because it's actually a big problem and there's a lack of childbirth. The people don't have time or money to have a family in today's Japanese society, and this has led to the situation where there are more seniors than children. And did you know that they actually sell more adult diapers than kids' diapers? The Japanese islands of Okinawa have one of the world's longest lifespans, and currently the oldest humans in the world are two Japanese people at 117 and 116 years old. Japan is one of the safest countries in the world, so if you worry about crime, you shouldn't probably look into moving here. The most common crimes here include stealing a bicycle or umbrellas left outside a convenience store. At the metro and trains, you can see locals who take a nap while having their phone in their hand or clearly visible. It's also not uncommon to see people walking around with their backpacks and bags open. Another thing, people don't even lock their homes at the time or their bicycles. That's how safe it is in Japan. One of the things you will notice when traveling to Japan is the huge amount of vending machines. They're literally everywhere, around every corner, and it's almost like they're part of the modern Japanese culture, but also a good and convenient way for the companies to sell beverages and make money without paying staff. In the big cities, you can find both hot and cold coffee in the vending machines, along with various other types of drinks, including water on a bottle. A lot of restaurants have started to implement vending machines as well, to let people order food. There are also plenty of vending machines selling snacks and food directly in the cities. You might know that Japan is an island nation, but did you know that there are more than 6,800 islands in Japan? The four biggest islands are Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku, which together makes up about 97% of the total land area. And don't forget about the paradise islands of Okinawa with its beautiful beaches and tropical climate. Law and order is a big thing in Japan. I'm not talking about the TV series, and it's important to learn this already as a child. That's why a lot of Japanese schools are making their students clean toilets, classrooms, and the school area. This also saves money because a school won't need as many cleaners. Imagine if this was the case in your country. Japan has a penis festival. The festival is known as Kanamara Matsuri, which means something like the festival for the phallus of steel. The festival is celebrated in the Japanese city of Kawasaki on the first Sunday in April. In short, just about everything, including candy, vegetables, and decorations, have the shape of the male reproductive organ or other things related to fertility. Japanese people are working more than any other country in the world, and the working days are long. Since a couple of years back, some employers are letting their employees take a power nap at work to recharge and get more energy. It's pretty interesting, and overall I would say that power naps are very common in Japan, and you will constantly see people taking power naps on trains. All the fruit in general is getting cheaper to buy in Japan. The tradition from the past lives on. Back in the days, it was really expensive to buy fruits because only a handful of fruits grow naturally in Japan. It's still expensive compared to many other countries, and it's still regarded as a great gift when meeting someone special. Only the USA has more McDonald's restaurants in the world than Japan. Despite that, it's very rare to see obese people when walking around the cities. Before we continue with this video, don't forget to subscribe. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share. If you go to a noodle restaurant in Japan, which you should, don't be afraid to slurp up the noodles. On the contrary, this is considered polite. According to Japanese customary, it's polite to slurp up the noodles since it shows the cook that you appreciate the food, and at the same time, it enhances the flavor. Many Japanese eat ready-made breakfast or dinner from a supermarket. Family Mart, 7-Eleven, and Lawson are the big chains running convenience stores in Japan. All of them is selling ready-made foods that can be heated in the store. You can also buy noodles and prepare them with hot water in the store, or buy ready-made sushi rolls, sandwiches, and other kinds of meals. To eat breakfast or lunch dinner at a supermarket isn't considered weird. Fact is that most people don't have time to cook a full meal at home before they go to work, and that's why it's so convenient to buy a hot or cold coffee in the morning along with the sandwich or onigiri. In Japan, there are cafes where you can pay to cuddle. But there is nothing sexual about it. The reason that these cafes exist is because a lot of inhabitants are single and loneliness is a big problem in Japan due to too much work. That's why there is a demand for cuddling and intimacy, and at these cafes you can come and get a hug or just lay down in someone's lap or spend time together with another human being. Yet another one of those interesting and bizarre facts about Japan, which isn't something weird at all there. With that said, not every Japanese man or woman visit cuddle cafes. It's still a minority we're talking about. More than 2 billion manga magazines and books are being sold each year in Japan. Literacy by Japanese youth is almost 100%, which is among the highest in the world. In Japanese, name Japan is Nihon or Nippon, which means land of the rising sun. It was once believed that Japan was the first country to see the sunrise in the east in the morning. Home to 33 million people, the Tokyo-Yokohama metropolitan area is the largest populated metropolitan region in the world. The Japanese eat more fish than any other people in the world, about 17 million tons per year. Japan is the world's largest importer of seafood, with shrimp comprising about 1/3 of the total, about 4 million tons a year. More than 20% of Japanese protein is obtained through fish and fish products. More than 5 billion servings of instant ramen noodles are consumed in Japan each year. Chef Momofuku Ando invented the first instant chicken ramen in 1958, and sushi has been around since about the 2nd century AD. It started as a way to preserve fish in China and eventually made its way to Japan. The method of eating raw fish and rice began in the early 17th century. Sushi does not mean raw fish in Japanese. It actually means rice seasoned with vinegar, sugar, and salt. Raw fish sliced and served alone without rice is called sashimi. Japanese Kobe beef is famous worldwide for its succulence and taste. The Japanese cows this beef come from receive daily massages and in summer are fed a diet of sake and beer mash. True Kobe beef comes from only 262 farms in Toyama region, of which Kobe is the capital, and each of which raises an average of 5 of the animals at a time. In the United States, Kobe beef is called Wagyu beef. Japanese ganguro, blackface fashion, was started in 1990s and has young women tanning their skin as dark as possible, bleaching their hair, and using extremely colorful makeup in contrast to the traditional Japanese pale-skinned, dark-haired standard of beauty. The world's shortest escalator is in the basement of Moore's department store in Kawasaki, Japan. It has only 5 steps and is 32.8 inches, which is 83.3 centimeters high. Women in Asian Japan blackened their teeth with dye as white teeth were considered ugly. This practice, called ohaguro, continued until the late 1800s. Shinjuku Station, Tokyo's main train station, is the busiest in the world, with over 2 million people passing through it every day. Anime, or animated Japanese films and television shows, account for 60% of the world's animation-based entertainment. Animation is so successful in Japan that there are almost 130 voice acting schools in the country. In Japan, Kit Kat candy bars come in flavors like grilled corn, cheese, Earl Grey tea, grape, and wasabi. The Japanese pronounce Kit Kat like kitokatsu, which sounds like "you're sure to pass" in Japanese, and so they make a popular gift to students during entrance exam season. Japanese trains are among the world's most punctual. Their average delay is just 18 seconds. In Japan, there is a crying sumo contest where wrestlers compete to see who can make a baby cry first. Most toilets in Japan have a built-in bidet system for spraying your backside. These are known as washlets and are now the norm in homes and nicer restrooms. When you use the restroom in someone's home, you may need to put on designated bathroom slippers so as not to contaminate the rest of the home. In sumo training stable, the junior rikishi sumo wrestlers must wash and bath their senior sumo wrestlers and make sure their hard-to-reach places are clean. This is the end of our video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share. Also, for more interesting videos, subscribe. Thank you. ありがとうございます。